Right. Good morning, everyone. So I think you are well waking up now. So from the first speaker, Prof. Dr. Wells speaking about Trade Act 2010. I love the tagline. Are you concerned or are you worried? I'm sure on the way here today, from the radio speaker, what is a hot topic now? SST beyond avocado. It implies the constructions as well. So I'm sure you heard about carbon taxation, not far away, which is end of this year, beginning of next year. So, should we concern or should we worry? You will be asking, can I look for a new technology that can actually, number one, reduce carbon emission? And number two, the key question, can save some money for my clients? So if your answer is yes, stay tuned for STARBARS. Strong Tensile Anti-Rust Rebus is a brand name. So scientific terms called GFRP. Glass fiber reinforced polymeric rebar. So we are a homegrown patent, which we have just received our patent from IIPO Malaysia Novel for the World 13th of May, which I'm one of the inventors in my proprietary, I am Macy, the co-founder of CRT. So the next question you will ask, what is actually GFRP? Anyone heard about it in the industry? Show of hands. Wow, God, I see some show of hands. So not that bad. For those who are new to it, please don't be alien to it. It is not plastic. It is a smarter builder checklist that reduces carbon emission, reduce costing, while it carries, compared to the conventional steel, 2 times higher tensile forces. So if there are engineers here, look for us for technical specification. 3 times higher bonding strengths, 4 times lighter in weights, electromagnetic neutral, and utmost important, we invented this material to compensate steel. What is the major issue they're having with steel on top of costing and carbon emission? Corrosion, kekaratan. So this material, number one, preliminary fact is that it doesn't corrode. So it can carry a superior durability compared to the conventional technology. Allow me to officially introduce to you the next slides.
What is out of the box. Sometimes they are takut untuk berubah atau resistant to change. Oleh kerana telah biasa ataupun complacent dengan kaedah atau cara kerja yang lama. Jadi yang sepatutnya pada mereka awal kita perlu tangani. Walaupun kita sebagai manusia, kita profesor, we have this feel to change. Tapi saya selalu peringatkan di saya kepada saya bahawa we have to change.
So we work with JKR Malaysia for awareness campaign to adopt a new technology compared to conventional ones. We are in the MIDA and IMP 2030 under composite material.
Such as British standards. And mostly British standards are now used by BSEN. Then we have MSEN, National Standard EN.
Talk about strength of rigidity of structure. So that is under the standards that they are using for structure as well other structure. We are sure that the structure can behave under the 25 or can move in certain length.
Construction engineers are designing structures based on codes, based on specification.
For example, the technologies like using capacity in concrete and in construction. Actually, I did my PhD in fiber plastic in 1999. It's about 20 years ago. Then during the time, Japan, Canada, US, and this and see this material that my capacity is and we are moving the 26 to 96 like really and also profitable. Because this cannot be disturbed by the genetic field that comes from the human, from the mosquito, and also the genetic field for the baby. FRP is made of composite. It does not contain any metal. That's why the water is not disturbed by the electric wave.
So this is Department Standards of Malaysia. One of my processes in section 16 Shah Alam behind MACC office. So this is the processes of a D-spec 100 by 100 with various diameters that's still able to do it. We are able to do it. So 2-person can fold this. Conventional steel, you are not able to visible this type of practical scenario. Lightweight, 2 men can carry a piece. So this is one of our previous sites in the bad soil condition in Batu Kawan, Penang. Para, high-protein factory flooring. So for the last 2023, I'm on a key speaker for CIDB Malaysia. We are at the same time, you spotted me at CIDB Road Tour for the Penang and JBs. Green RE from Radar Malaysia. At the same time, we have participated in the Hong Kong, China, and the Middle East, rolling out a Malaysia technology to the world. This is JKR Sarawak. At the same time, in the International Civil Engineering Conference. And this is today where we are. Thank you for Association for inviting us. And upcoming next month, week 1, hopefully see you in Osaka. I'll be presenting paper 2, day 1 under the CIDB delegations. So carbon tax is coming. Well aware of it, there are 2 main components are impacted, lesser than SST. Number 1 is steel, which is a key construction material in the industry. Number 2 is electricity, where all of us are impacted. Malaysia, we are actually 4 years behind carbon border adjustment mechanism, whereby phase 1 in the European industry started 2023. 2026 will be full adoption, where Malaysia, we are not behind. For us to develop a sustainable material, when we design a sustainable material, it's what we want to gear ahead to reduce the carbon emission. So reduce carbon emission translated to what? Not just to escalation of costing, but a better property, better construction, not just for us, but for those who inherited our property in the future, the next 20 years, 40 years. We don't want the property that we design, say Malaysia construction landscape, walaupun tak ada any seismic implication, but we wouldn't want impacted by severe flood. As you know, climate change is a key component that impacting our lives right now. For instance, it will rain more regularly like Malaysia landscape, but for other countries, it has been dropping the temperature. So we are here to work together with the industry, with all stakeholders. Let's the climate changes lesser and hitting our sustainable development goal in the very near future. So carbon emission. By rule of thumb, say 1 double-story houses, rule of thumb, it consumes 3 tons of steel, right? 1 ton of steel, how many tons of carbon emission? Easy calculation is 2 tons. Actual is 2.6 tons. For GFRP rod, we are not superhero here to bring down to 0. No matter what, we use heat to produce. Just 7 times low heat as compared to milk. Therefore, this material 4 times lighter in weight. So 1.9 kg COE divided by 4, a rough estimation about 0.5, which you can verify against our ISO 14065 and by Hijau certification, compared to steel 2.6 kg COE per kilo. So this material outright saves 70% of carbon emission. For those who should report to Bursa on carbon emission, feel free to contact us for quantification from now on. So we are not an body, they are the advocating body, non-metallic center of excellence from the American Concrete Institute.
This industry is by far the largest sector when it comes to the consumption of materials, such as concrete, which is the most used man-made material in the world. This sector uses more than 17 billion tons of raw material annually, with a compound annual growth rate of 15%. With such a large volume consumption of materials, options do matter when it comes to making a change. An IEA 2018 Global Status Report indicates that the building and construction sector accounts for 38% of global CO2 emissions. Concrete manufacturing is responsible for 7% of emissions, while steel accounts for 6.7%.
Second largest after oil and gas, so fiberglass being the lowest, 0.5.
CO2 emissions on this scale have a substantial impact on the environment and contribute to global warming, which makes finding alternatives a key consideration. Another threat to the construction industry is corrosion. Ineffective materials in certain environments can cause severe corrosion, leading to calls for frequent repairs and replacement, which consumes additional materials. The cost of corrosion for highway bridges in the U.S. alone is estimated to be $8.3 billion annually. In response to the industry's need for new technologies and materials that have less of a negative impact on cost and the environment, NEXT, an ACI Center of Excellence for Non-Metallic Building Materials, was established to develop and promote the use of cost-effective materials and solutions. The center into
Non-metallic material, bahan bukan besi. We are the producer for the bars, GFRP rebar rods. So if you look at international reference, this is not alien, this is not new, 40, 50 years in the industry. So critical structure replacing the steel rebars.
FRP will treated structural members.
So this is not yellow painted steel. To the oil and gas industry, you are able to see this as well in the critical H-beam, I-beam replacement of structural steels. So these are road and pavement materials. In Malaysia, the cost is still relatively low, so a lot of people actually procure RC or mesh in equivalent with concrete for soil and pavement reinforcement use.
To learn more about NEXT,
So you can join our membership as well. Independent International Organization, nonmetallic.org. See how strong this material behaves. So if it is reinforced by conventional steel, it would have crack and break. That's why this material is twice higher tension force compared to the conventional steel. So this material in Malaysia, we work and collaborate with Institutional of Engineers Malaysia, Keparau in Kuala Lumpur, and upcoming this year, stay tuned in JB for our talk and workshops on codes writing in August. And the standard codes to comply, if there are any engineers here, if you deal with them, they are American codes, they are Euro Code version 2023 annexes R, and upcoming Malaysia standard DMX 2815. So these are regulatory proven, not just for the East, for the West, but also for Southeast Asian country like us, Malaysia. So rust. It's time to compensate rust. So can we combat the rust with a more cost-effective method? Rust will age the concrete faster than what you expect and calculation. So this is what we are getting. You pay 40 years house loan. This is Malaysia. So upcoming next, it's very sad to see this. It's non-compliance, most of the sites in Malaysia. This is Abu Dhabi. You can see a cleaner construction landscape and a better properties. We are 1/6 producer here in Malaysia, right after the American, Canadian, Germans, gold hair, blue eyes. I'm standing out as black hair, black eyes, Malaysian, Chinese. Conventionally, this material used in the aircraft, high performance car, missile casing, 40 years back in the construction industry. This is where we are, behind MACC office, section 16 Shala. Standard sheets. If you do drive by, see some plastic-like BRC, that is not. That is STARBARS. 1/4 of the weight, 1/4 of the density compared to the conventional steel. It can be used to build critical structures, lighter weights compared to steel, wood, or even aluminium. So when lightweights, reduce of manpower, put at the side, nobody going to jury, not going to karat, cover with a piece of cloth, less than 6 months operating use, better than steel. So this is where we are. During invention, there was me, many years ago. Yeah, look at first. Everybody commented. Last time white hair, now orange. The only thing is it cannot be bent aside. No, this material perform linear elastic to failure, no plastic characteristic. So this is tensile tests. It is different from conventional steel. It's so strong in a way that you need to grip the bar properly to derive a linear to elastic failure, twice higher stress compared to strain curve, compared to the conventional steel. So we conduct fire rating tests as well. BS 476 part 2, 86 mm thickness for 1 layer of my STARBARS passes 2 hours. So compliance to uniform building by law clause 86, minimum of 100 mm for party wall is already passes. These are further technical research before we prove our products against the patent and product certification licenses. So the breaking point, you to hear this out.
It's a really cool video because this addresses a lot of the misconceptions out there. People are saying, hey, fiberglass rebar is lethal. It doesn't give you the warning. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do that. Well, we've done a lot of testing. This test has been done in the University of Concordia. This is a simple beam, 16 feet span from center to center of the support. This is a 300 millimeter or foot long high concrete, regular concrete, 6 inches. And 2 pieces of number 5 rebar running at the bar. And we put this at a cycling loading of 2 hertz, 2 cycles per second. The loading on top is 25,000 pound force or 110 kilonewtons, 1.7 times service load. And this video has been recorded after 2 million cycles. We did the same test with steel and it only lasted less than 20,000 cycles.
So 2 million cycle versus 20,000 cycle of a steel. This material perform 100 times better in terms of durability. This is our early days reference. If we started some in Kedah, in Glen Valley, high rises, mainly on the floor slab usage, ground floor, first floor, upper floor. We have developed up to 24-story height in the Ipoh Meru for Lagenda property Berhad. So you can see a lot of flooring. We hybrid with steel for the design for Malaysia landscape, so follow our shop drawing and recommendation to do it right. As you see, this material is bendable and tapat, flux like a rotor, but it is durable. So compared to steel, one step you cannot compare, right? A6 or residential. This material without fear, if forklift can go on it, human can go on it without an issue. In fact, as compared to steel. So sounds like steel, work like steel, complies the right design code for safely integrate to your buildings. Easy cuttable as well, despite high strength. That's the reason why the MRT in Singapore, diaphragm are reinforced with GFRP rod rather than conventional steel. So this material has 5 times the lifespan. So stainless steel is one discovered by the early days engineer to compensate the rust compared to the black steel. In Malaysia, market T-bar, BRC, Y-bar are actually black steel. So this material, strengths are better, impervious to chemical attack, higher durability. The next question is cost effective or not? Give us a call. That is our tagline for today. Looking for green does not mean you have to spend more. So, to use this product, right, the necessary green certification from MyHijab, from MGBC, we have that. And then product certification license ASTM 7957 as well as ACI 440.6. So within our outfit, we have some OKUs to comply not just the environmental factor, but the social and governance factor. This is the raw material, not tiny raffia, yeah. It's actually a nanotechnology. Each of the small bars, 6-7 mm that we are holding, is fused with 30,000 hairline spring nanotechnological silica compound. When we design this proprietary, the chemicals, the formula, and we filed a patent and we are now granted the patents. So what makes us ahead of the American, Canadian, Germans, and so forth is the cost. So again, give us a call for that. So these are our processes. We produce 7 times lower heat as compared to the steel mill. Easy cuttable. Feel free to give us a call for a site visit as well. So manpower easier handle on it. So 2 men can carry one piece of 2.2 by 6 meter, 13.2 meters square. 500 pieces of A6 conventional steel take 30 minutes to unload. This material take about 20-25 minutes, far faster compared to the conventional steel. So my fellow colleagues, some of my fellow colleagues, now we have a larger team now. So, seeing is believing. What it has been used in the industry. So 40-50 years ago, United States, like Prof. Hamida mentioned earlier in my slides, Japan, Canada, they use in foundation, shear wall, slabs, critical dynamic load structures, as long as you design it appropriately, highways, railways, and Malaysia being a conservative countries. So we started off with Ministry of Defense Air Base in Mersing, Johor. We have completed this project with 50% cost saving for the slabs, the runway, high loading landing airpad. Malaysia Book of Record winning water park in Batam, Penang. Buy a ticket because it's been endorsed by STARBARS, One Color and better durable, inclusive of the 5-star rating hotel and resort. We have done 24-story affordable homes, Legenda Property Berhad. They have a durable property that worth your money to buy now. You can inherit to the next few generations without escalation of maintenance costing. They are just next to the North-South Highway. So you take a drive, you can see them. Same to Bukit Jalil project for Sunway Flora. So their car park, we work with post-tension to reinforce the threat. Residential by another developer in Malacca, durable property we have done in load-bearing shear wall, not just non-load-bearing shear wall, plus the floor slabs to reduce some column and beams. Therefore, cost justification comes in after this. This is PKMS. Those who ring bell for this project, Kota Putri. Then we have done plenty of affordable homes, single story. This is Kedah Legenda Property Berhad. So if an affordable homes that's selling at 120,000 can afford to use STARBARS, definitely a premium homes got no reason to reject us. So stick to Eco Grandeur, a real eco-friendly developer now. The entire Eco Grandeur Business Park 5 Wellington Garden, they are reinforced with STARBARS as well. So if you would like to qualify a green quantification for your logistic hub, this is where you are. This is GP in NSTEC Nilai. Should you want to see our site, feel free to give us a call as well. This project we completed within 8 months with 20% GDC outright discount for the developer. This is a private, independent, high-loading factories in Batu Kawan SMP, a semiconductor factories. So there are more logistic hubs, data centers, the flooring you can see using our material. Some of the brands might ring your bell, like Saitari Properties, their walkway in Elmina are using our materials. We have a zero steel project as well in Malaysia, Penang. Column, beam, everything using STARBARS. Still standing until today, right after 10 years. Okay, so to have an up close on the tensile test, seeing is believing. Watch out the computer screen. So if you were at the site, normally engineer will handpick. Despite we issue MIL cert according to product certification license, so you can see the reading, you still need to pull in front of them. So the result gotten up to 1,200 Newton per mm square. So compared to steel, which is about 500 Newton per mm square. So the breaking point is done. So cost comparison, that's what you are interested, right? So Option 1, say A7, swapping to A7, there are some savings. Option number 2, we call value engineering. As you know, we are engineering, procurement and construction company. We have an engineering firm as well. So value engineers is not nothing alien to us. So we might be able to help you to safeguard some costing for downsizes, plus the integrity insurance. Option number 3, we might migrate some moment frames or beams and columns. So you are able to save some concrete as well, pursuant to the codes that we comprise. So this is the case study from the Middle East. If Middle East selling twice the price of a steel also got saving, Malaysia scenario even better case compared to this, alright? So principally this is my contact. If it's too low, you can write down. So allow me to introduce to you the founder and managing director of CRT, Mr. Stephen Ong. So feel free to engage himself, myself for further question onto this. Stay tuned for a smarter builder choice. Higher performance compared to the conventional steel. Remember the name, STARBARS. Strong tensile anti-rust rebar. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Ms. Pang, for that enlightening session.